Right, so Singapore has finally sanctioned 4 Israelis, and you almost have to laugh because if ever there was a state that could stretch the definition of late to the party into a full diplomatic philosophy, it's Singapore. 2 years of Gaza being levelled, 2 years of famine warnings, 2 years of the International Court of Justice saying the risk of genocide is real and ongoing, and Singapore didn't move an inch. Then 4 settler extremists in the West Bank start making headlines. The region heats up a little bit. A tanker carrying cargo bound for Singapore gets grabbed in the Strait of Hormuz by Iran as well, and suddenly Singapore decides it's time to show principle. Not on Gaza, obviously, not where the real political cost to Israel is. Just enough to look balanced now that the consequences of silence have started to reach its own shipping lanes. Right, so you look at what Singapore has just done, and the first thing you notice is how late it is. 2 years of Gaza being torn apart, 2 International Court of Justice rulings saying the risk of genocide is real and happening in front of everyone, months of starvation warnings, aid blockages, schools and hospitals being smashed to dust, and Singapore has done nothing more than issue the usual calls for restraint. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they sanction 4 Israeli settlers for extremist violence in the West Bank. Not for Gaza, not for the starvation, not for the mass displacement. 4 individuals tied to settler militias, who even Israel's own institutions treat as a nuisance when things get too loud. That's the first thing I think we have to understand with this story. This move is tiny in scale, limited in its reach, and aimed at the softest possible target. But because Singapore has done almost nothing for 2 years, people are scrambling to understand why all of a sudden they're doing something now. And why at this moment Singapore wants to look like it's finally willing to take a stand on something involving Israel. And that's where this timeline matters now, because this isn't morality kicking in all of a sudden. This is something else.